Back in one of our first videos, I mentioned that I once wrote a ripoff of the Boxcar Children called The Engine Kids, and if I ever found it, I promised I would read it. Good news! I found it. This is The Engine Kids #1. Apparently it was going to be a series. As you can see, I'm credited as writer and picture maker. The Engine Kids #1 by Christopher Burgum. Copyright 1996 CMB Publishing, and I also have trademarks. I didn't really know how trademarks worked, but I knew I needed some. To Gertrude Chandler Warner, who gave me ideas. And by gave me ideas, I apparently mean all of them, because every single thing in this book is directly stolen. Chapter 1. Finding Two Things. Jake, Julie, Matt, and Kate thought their grandma was mean and hated them. But they didn't know that they were wrong. By the way, Jake, Julie, Matt, and Kate are all names of my relatives. In elementary school, every character I made was named after one of my relatives. They lived in the grass and on their own. They wished they had someone who liked them. One day, Jake tripped and fell on some bushes. They broke, and Jake was very surprised at what he saw. He ran to get the others. When they came back, they were surprised too. What they saw was a trail. "Let's follow it," cried Kate. "There could be anything back there." "Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go," said Julie. It was getting dark, and they had not found anything. "This place is spooky," said Kate, shivering. "I want more light." Then Matt thought he saw something up ahead. "Look," he whispered to Jake. "I think I see an engine." Jake looked. He saw what Matt had seen. It was the front of a train, or an engine. He ran over to it. "Where are you going?" yelled Julie. "Come on and I'll show you," replied Jake. Matt, Julie, and Kate followed. Then Julie and Kate figured out it was an engine. These are smart kids. "Let's go inside," said Matt. "It's cold out here." Jake was surprised at how easily the door moved. "There's not much in here," he said. By the way, in 4th grade, I'm pretty sure I had no idea how to open the door to an engine, because I still have no idea how to open the door to an engine. I don't even know if they have doors that are accessible by children. When it was almost midnight, Matt heard a loud crack of a branch. It scared him. He decided to wake up Jake. "Jake, wake up," he whispered. "What?" whispered Jake. "I heard something. Listen," Matt replied. Crack! It was louder that time, so Matt asked Jake, "Will you see what it was?" "Okay," Jake answered. Slowly, he opened the door. Suddenly a dog jumped in. Julie and Kate woke up as fast as lightning. "A dog!" cried Kate. The dog was black, with white feet. "What should we name him?" asked Julie. "Let's name him tomorrow," Kate said. "He's asleep, and I'm tired too," so apparently the dog just jumped in and then went to bed. "She's right," said Matt. "We should go back to sleep." Chapter 2. A Name. When morning came, the sun woke Jake. He was the only one awake. How should we name the dog, he thought. Suddenly he had an idea. They would draw for names. Soon the others woke up. Jake told them his idea. They thought it sounded great. Matt got an old pail, Julie got a paper, and Kate got a quill pen and ink, which all happened to be in the engine. Jake wrote Marco Polo, Matt wrote socks, Julie wrote mittens, and Kate wrote boots. They put their slips into the pail. By the way, my dog's name in 4th grade was Boots. Socks and mittens were alternative names that we came up with for him. I have no idea where Marco Polo came from. Jake mixed them up. He wondered who would win. He hoped he would win. "And the winner is," he said, "Kate," because apparently they also wrote their names on the names. "What did you write?" Julie asked Kate. "I wrote Boots," Kate replied. "Well, you won," said Matt. Chapter 3. Gathering Things. The 4 children woke up early the next morning. Nobody knew Julie was planning something. "I think we need things," said Julie, starting her plan. "Like what?" asked Kate. "Like plates, forks, spoons, bowls, and knives," laughed Jake. "But we can't buy anything," said Kate. "We don't have any money." "There's stuff at the junkyard," said Julie, "and it's for free." "I know what you're on," said Jake. "And if I'm right, you want to go to the junkyard." "You've got it," laughed Julie. When they arrived, Kate ran over to a pile. "There's lots of dishes over here," she yelled. "Come on, we'd better get things," said Julie. They all searched. Jake found the silverware, Julie found the cooking things, Matt found the plates, and Kate found the bowls. Apparently I thought junkyards were really organized in 4th grade, like, there's the pile of plates, over there's the pile of bowls, there's a whole heap of silverware over there if you need any. When they got home, they cleaned everything in their pond. Now they have a pond. "I'm tired," said Kate, yawning. "Let's go to bed," Jake said. Chapter 4. The Marathon. Everyone woke up at the same time, except of course Kate, who normally slept in. "Wake up," said Julie to Kate. "Jake wants to talk to us." I think they spent half the book waking each other up. When Kate came, Jake showed them something. "I found this by the road," he said, showing them a newspaper. "It says you can run in a marathon. I think I'll run in it. Does anybody else want to?" The others shook their heads no. "Then it's settled," Jake said. The next day, Jake went to the track where the marathon was being held. When he got to the starting line, he heard runners, "On your mark, get set, go!" Did he just go straight to the starting line? Did he not need to register? All the runners started running. The crowd was wild. Jake was running for what seemed like forever. Then he saw the tape. He crossed it. He had won! The announcer said, "First place, Jake Symes." I guess he did register. Jake couldn't believe he won. He went to the prize box. He was given a gold cup and $25. There's also an illustration. That was the only picture I drew in the entire book, and if I remember correctly, I got in trouble for it because I wrote too much and didn't include enough pictures. He couldn't wait to get home. Everyone was surprised and happy, but when the $25 ran out, they wouldn't have any money. That's where Matt's idea came in. Chapter 5. Matt's idea. The next morning, everyone woke up at the same time. They had slept in. Matt picked up the newspaper. "Look," he said, "it says a man named Dr. Hool. Dr. Hool wants people to work for him, and he gives $5 an hour. I think we should do it." "Yeah, let's do it," Kate said. "Where does he live?" "In Silvertown," replied Matt, "and it starts today." I'm pretty sure that the city from the Boxcar Children was called Silver City. I didn't even try that one. Silvertown was about 2 miles away, so it took them about 18 minutes to get there. I have no idea where I came up with that figure, but 4 kids walking 2 miles, 18 minutes seems like really good time. "Here's the place," said Matt. They knocked on the door. A tall man answered the door. "I'm Dr. Hool," he said. "Who are you?" Also, at this point, I was running in a book, so I actually have smaller, tinier lines. I would not be contained by the size of my book. "I'm Jake, that's Matt, that's Julie, and that's Kate," said Jake. "We're here to work." "Well, there's 2 rakes in the backyard. Kate, you and Matt can rake. Jake, you can clean the house with Julie." After a while, the work was done, and Dr. Hool gave them $15. "You deserve it," he said. That seems like less than $5 an hour. The next day, the children woke up early and went to Dr. Hool's house. "Today you will pick fruit. There's too much for today, but you have many days to finish," said Dr. Hool. They worked for hours. Finally, they collected their pay. "How much today?" said Kate. $30, replied Dr. Hool. $30, cried Matt. "We were working for 6 hours. So I guess it's $5 an hour for the work, not per person. They just have to split this. Seems like really unfair labor. After the children left, an article in the paper caught Dr. Hool's eye. It said, "Lost. 4 children. Jake, Julie, Matt, and Kate. Symes. Call Cassie Symes. 781-7183. Chapter 6. Cassie Symes. That morning, before the children got up, Dr. Hool called Cassie Symes. "Mrs. Symes," he said, "I know those kids. They should be here soon. If you hurry, you can get here before them." "I'll be there in a flash," said Cassie. In 20 minutes, Cassie came. I'm not touching that line. Soon the children arrived at Dr. Hool's house. "Who is that?" asked Kate to Dr. Hool. "Mrs. Cassie," said Dr. Hool. "She's going to be here for a while." "Okay," said Kate. "Sorry, no work," said Mrs. Symes. "I guess we'll just go home," said Matt, sighing. "No, stay here," cried Dr. Hool. "I have a surprise for you." "A surprise," said Julie. "What kind of surprise?" "I'm giving you all something," said Dr. Hool. "You get a bike." Then he gave them all a bike. I don't know if this was like one bike to share, because that seems the way he does things. "Thanks," said all of the children. Then Dr. Hool said, "There will be work tomorrow. Remember to come." Then the children left. Chapter 7. Grandma. The next day the children went to Dr. Hool's house. When they arrived, Kate said, "Mrs. Cassie is nice. I like her." "Guess what?" said Mrs. Symes. "I'm your grandma." "You are?" said Jake. "Yes," said Mrs. Symes. "Now, you better get to work. Have fun." They still have to do child labor even though they've just been reunited with their long-lost grandma. Soon the children were working hard. After 4 hours, they collected their money. $20, said Dr. Hool. "Oh, and your grandma wants to talk to you." The children went into the living room. "Will you move in with me?" asked Mrs. Symes. "Yes, if we can take the engine," said Matt. "Okay," said Mrs. Symes. Then it's agreed. Chapter 7. Moving. The next day, the children found themselves being moved. Suddenly, there was a rumble, and Jake opened the door. "We're in Grandma's yard," said Julie. "Cool." First of all, I don't know how they know what their grandma's yard looks like, and second, I'm pretty sure I envisioned this, like, helicopter airlifting them into their grandma's backyard, just this whole engine being picked up and dropped there. "Hello," said their grandma. "Did you have a nice ride?" "Yes," laughed Kate. "Is this your house?" "Well, Julie figured it out. Come on, Kate." "I have a feeling we will have more adventures," said Jake. "Me too," said Grandma. The end. We had to write 2 of these in 4th grade, and surprisingly enough, the next book is not The Engine Kids Part 2. It was a book about Lego characters, and I really hope I can find it. And say what you will about me in 4th grade. At least I got published. I had trademarks and everything. First prize is a gold trophy. Second prize is a silver trophy. Third prize is a Granny Smith apple.